What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of F1 2017. In today's episode we are going to be doing another tutorial, and this time on fuel saving. So before we begin fuel saving, we need to know how we get there. So what we do is go into session info, and as you can see, it is here on the practice program section. Alrighty, so I have just done fuel saving because I didn't know what we had to do, and now I get it, so I'm going to share it with you guys. What you need to do is just press it and you'll get an option for the tyres. This will change depending on what allocation of tyres you are given, but for this one we got the ultra soft, the super soft and the soft, as well as intermediate and full wet, but the intermediate and full wet are unavailable because it is dry on track and it would make no sense to be going out on the intermediate or full wet. And then after that we just got the tyre set. This will show you which tyre set. In this case we've only got one of the ultra soft left and it's got 13 laps remaining, so it is a brand new set. And then we simply just start it. So now let's get out there on track and start saving some fuel. Alrighty guys, so now we are on track and we are ready to save some fuel, because that is the whole point of this program and this video. So to start off, we have a few things on the screen. We have our target lap time, the fuel meter usage device bar at the top, we'll call it. It probably has an actual name, but I don't know it. And just the number of laps that you are on / have. So the fuel meter bar will go purple, green, red, red, green, purple, or whatever, depending on how you are doing with your fuel usage. Now, if it is in the red on a lap, say for the first sector it is in the red, you can get it up into the purple by the end of the lap. It takes a lot of fuel saving, but it is possible. And then we have the target lap time. So the target lap time should be set to a pace where you are comfortable with, and not that you are pushing 100% every single lap to try and beat it. Because if you do that, your fuel usage will be very bad and you won't have enough fuel to finish the race if you are in the race. That is just how modern Formula 1 is with these new engines and fuel regulations. You can't push every single lap 100%. So yeah, that is how the target time should go. But now let's get into more on how you save the fuel and tips and tricks, because that is probably why you're here. So the main important thing when fuel saving is something called coasting. This is probably the most effective way to save fuel, and if you don't know what it is basically where you are not on the accelerator or brake, you're just letting the car roll, because you are using very minimum fuel, so your fuel usage level goes down and your efficiency goes up. So I'd recommend coasting before you enter the braking zone. Bear in mind though, if you do start coasting before you enter the braking zone, your braking distance to the corner will change because you are losing speed when you do start coasting, just because of aero drag and friction and science and all that stuff. So yeah, say we are going up to a corner, what you do is just lift off the accelerator and brake, let it coast for a bit. You will see that the fuel meter starts going up, because as soon as you start coasting it will affect it a lot, and then you can start braking into the corner and getting through the corner. So another way you can save a little bit more fuel is changing gear early. So what I'd recommend is changing gear when the rev indicator is in the green or when it is just entering the red. Changing gear early doesn't really affect your lap time if you're doing it out of the corners. Now this can save you a little bit of fuel, but every little helps. So that is another little way on how to save a little bit more fuel. Also, what you want to do, well, what you don't want to do is spin up your wheels. The meter will go do-dally and will go straight to the red, and you would have lost all that progress you've done. Also, shifting up early out of the corners will help you as well, not to spin up your wheels. Personally, myself, when I first did it, I was just doing flat out laps and it was in the red and I had no clue how to do it. And then I started to learn, well, I don't really need to be going as quick as I am, because I was getting like a second in front at the time, or 2 seconds or whatever it was. So I got myself in a nice groove, started coasting, started changing up the gears, being nice and smooth, and before you know it, it was in the purple and I was keeping under the time and doing pretty good. So if I can do it, you can do it. Also, it just takes a little bit of practice if you haven't really got the hang of it. As soon as you do though, it is quite a simple method. But yeah, that is about all I can really say on the program. But yeah guys, that is really it. Now we are going to move on to the end screen data that you have got from doing the fuel practice program. So let's get into that. Alrighty guys, so after you've done that, hopefully you have done well. You'll be back in the garage, and now we are going to go through the on-screen displays and information you get after you have completed the fuel management. So once again, we go on to session information. just like we did at the start. And then we go on to fuel saving. So at the top, where it says the practice programs available, you'll have your score. So in this case, we have done perfect. And you'll have your resource points that you managed to get from doing this practice program. In this case, we got 50 out of 50. If you have got okay or bad, I recommend doing the fuel saving program again, because getting the maximum resource points will help you to develop your car in the car development section, and then it will help you later on in the season. But then we have the fuel management results, and here it just shows you a list of data, which is actually quite interesting. So now we're going to go through them. Your values may be different depending on how you have done, so if they're not the same as that, don't worry. At the top we have full throttle, in this case it is 58%. Then we have coasting, so we got 8%, which is actually not as much as I was expecting. But that is the amount of time you have literally been off both accelerator and brake and just let the car roll, like I explained earlier, which is the best way to save fuel. And then we have braking, so we've done 13%. After that we have the actual fuel usage. So this is how much in kilograms of fuel we have used. So here it is 1.55 kilogram. Then we have the estimated minimum race fuel load. So the game has estimated the minimum amount of fuel that you will need in the race. And then it is 23.31 kilograms. Again, your values might change. And then finally we have the extra fuel required. If there is a minus before the number of laps, that is excellent. And that means that you have that much spare fuel. So we could go around for another one lap and then we'd run out of fuel on the second lap. But if there is a plus in front of the number of laps, that means that you have needed that much, whatever it says, of fuel to finish the program. And yeah, that is basically it for the little data description that we have after we have completed the fuel saving practice program. And I think that is actually pretty cool. It's actually quite interesting as well. But yeah, that is fuel saving. I hope you guys have learned something from this video. If you have and this has helped you out, be sure to let me know in the comments or by leaving a like. Also, if you got any questions, tips, tricks, or you want me to do any other practice programs, we have done tyre management. There is a card for it in the top right hand corner. Then let me know also in the comments. Also guys, if you are interested, I am doing a career mode series and a car showcase series. The career mode, we just do the career mode with Ferrari, and the car showcase, we just go through all the list of cars and just drive them around to see what they're like. And it is pretty interesting considering there is some classic cars. So yeah, in case you're interested in that as well. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. If you have enjoyed it, be sure to let me know by leaving a like or a comment. Subscribe if you're new. Have a fantastic day. Peace!